Warning, this video may contain content that may not be suitable for children or anyone else that is easily offended. Strong language, graphic content, nudity, bad jokes, and a possible idiot, aka myself, may be featured in the following clip. Viewer discretion is advised. Channel is not responsible for any damages that you receive watching this video. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Zems, and welcome to 5 horrific truck driving killer horror stories. Man, this video is by Scary Mystery, so if you guys haven't already, be sure you swoop down to the description box, click on that link, go watch the video to the entirety while me pausing and stopping and talking and do the whole thing. Thank you guys so much, man, for supporting the channel, man. Keep doing what you guys are doing. But, man, let me tell you something about truck drivers. I haven't felt the same about truck drivers since I seen that one movie. I think it was called Joyride. I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section if I'm wrong. He was like, hey there, Goldilocks, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, oh, damn, I ain't never look at truck drivers the same ever again. This video was recommended to me by Riley, so if you guys have any recommendations, feel free to let me know down in the comment section. I picked this one because this is a channel I don't think I've ever reacted to, and I told you guys, keep giving me new stuff so we don't have to react to the same content creators every single time. But for now, let's get it.
5 horrific truck driving killers.
Ooh.
Long-haul truckers have the perfect job for killing.
Thanks.
It's easy to pick up victims anywhere on the road and drop the bodies off somewhere far, far away.
They travel a lot.
Being constantly on the move on desolate highways is as ideal as it can be for getting away with murder. Here are 5 horrific truck driving killers.
Facts. Let's get it. Number 5.
Number 5. Timothy Vagides.
Timothy Vagides.
Timothy Vagides was a driver from Minnesota who would come to be known as none other than the Vampire Trucker.
Sounds familiar.
Like the mythical character from which he stole the name. He too had at one point kept women as his sex slaves.
He was like, 1 girl, 2 girls, No.
He took them as prisoners and held them hostage inside his trailer, which he called the Twilight Express. To look the part, he would wear a set of fangs for teeth, and in order to make his female victims turn into vampires as well, he would actually chip away at their pearly whites and turn them into actual fangs.
Hashtag Team Edward.
One woman recalled during the court trial that she was held captive for several months. Her long and torturous ordeal began when she got into the fang driver's vehicle after being invited for dinner. Things got a little bit sketchy when she realized that they weren't exactly headed towards any restaurant. Down the desolate road they went, and things took a terrifying turn when Timothy began to utter phrases like, "I got you now," and "You are mine."
See? Concealed carry, I'm telling you.
From that day on, her life was controlled as she was forced to do whatever he told her to. All aspects of her life were in the vampire trucker's hands, even being told when she was able to use the bathroom. Another woman who suffered the same bitter fate even attempted to end her life with a razor blade. Thankfully, she took hold of her senses and decided to throw the weapon away.
What? Use it on him.
Emboldened, though, by her show of defeat, Timothy continued and even took his abuses to the next level. If she didn't please him whenever he wanted, she would be verbally abused and physically beaten.
That's crazy.
His evil deeds came to an end when in 2013 he was arrested during a routine truck inspection. The inspector at that time managed to catch a glimpse of his young female passenger who had a black eye at the time and looked like she had been badly beaten up.
Dummy.
In 2016, Timothy, who was then 56 years old, was sentenced to 20 years in prison for sexual assault, illegal detention, and battery. While he didn't kill any of his victims, he certainly did twisted and horrible things to the women he picked up and dropped off whenever he was done with them. During his trial, it was revealed that he had an obsession with vampires, which explains the fangs as well as the name of his truck. Aside from the 2 aforementioned women, the trucker was also discovered to have abused a total of 6 others across the span of 2 decades.
And he gets 20 years, bro. 20 years, and this dude's out here biting people and pulling out teeth and kidnapping, and he gets 20 years, bro, which means he's still about to get out and probably do the same thing over again. 20 years? Come on, Minnesota, bro. Come on, man. It's like ESPN moment. Come on, man.
Living in between Tennessee and Wyoming,
That's life.
Baldwin had left a bloody trail of murders along his routes, and had there not been new forensic technology developments, these cases may have remained unsolved. Back in 1991, 32-year-old Pamela McCall was found dead in the woods off Interstate 65 in Spring Hill, Tennessee. It was March, and McCall happened to be pregnant when she was assaulted and then murdered. Autopsy findings revealed the victim had incurred various injuries, most prevalent in the neck area, where she died of strangulation.
That's strangulation, probably.
She was born in Cedar Rapids, but grew up and lived most of her life in Virginia. She was last seen alive at a Tennessee truck stop days before being discovered. Found at the crime scene were traces of male DNA, which was later recovered and kept as evidence. This was later on to be found out to be Clark Baldwin's first known kill.
He probably killed more.
In 1992, the bodies of two unidentified women were discovered roughly 400 miles apart from one another. The first girl was discovered near the Bitter Creek truck turnout on Interstate 80 in southwestern Wyoming.
Are these like the results of them hitchhiking, or are they just he come up to him and was like, "Hey man, you're beautiful, I want to take you out to dinner," like the first story, or is this like a hitchhike? That's all I don't do hitchhiking, man. Movies ruin that for me. Detective stories ruin that for me. The first 48 ruined that for me. Stories like this ruined it for me. Like, I'll just walk, bro. If it's 10 miles, bro, I'm just gonna take breaks every couple of miles, bro. But I'm not hopping in nobody's vehicle, bro. It's a red flag, bro. Somebody pull over, like, "Hey, you need a ride?" They could be friendly, or they could be trying to potentially kill you. I'm not going to take that chance, me personally, but let me know down in the comment section if you guys ever hitched a ride from a random person or stranger.
The autopsy there revealed that she had suffered severe trauma to the head and had died due to strangulation.
So he gets off by strangulation.
The victim, referred to as Bitter Creek Betty, probably had been dead already before being dumped in the snow. The other woman, who was aptly named I-90 Jane Doe.
Usually they say when people strangle people, it's because they get off on the fact that they can see like the light draining out of your eyes. I've seen it a lot of times. I've heard detectives say that a lot of times. Like, they like the feeling that it has of just watching you just slowly pass. That's creepy, bro. You know how much strength. A lot of people don't underestimate how long it takes to strangle somebody. It's not quick. It takes a minute, bro. You got to be some kind of strong to strangle somebody. You can Google it. You got to be strong as shit, bro.
The autopsy there revealed that she had suffered severe trauma to the head and had died due to strangulation. The victim, referred to as Bitter Creek Betty, probably had been dead already before being dumped in the snow. The other woman, who was aptly named I-90 Jane Doe, due to the fact that she was found lifeless in a ditch off Interstate 90 near Sheridan in northern Wyoming. Like McCall, this unidentified victim was also pregnant, but she died from blunt force trauma to the head.
Damn, another pregnant one, dude.
After being cold for almost 30 years. In 2019, Tennessee police decided to open McCall's case again.
There we go.
Using the DNA evidence recovered from the 1991 crime scene, they were able to create a DNA profile of the mysterious killer.
That's crazy how long they can keep stuff like that.
This information was then put into a national database from which a match was made. Like hitting the jackpot, they also found out that this suspect was responsible for the 2 unsolved homicides in Wyoming.
Possibly more.
Authorities were able to hone in on Baldwin after finding the same DNA profile on a commercial genealogy database. To further support the result of the investigative genetic genealogy process, the FBI collected Baldwin's DNA from his trash. It was at this point that they were able to prove beyond any reasonable doubt that Baldwin was not a gentle giant, but a cold-blooded killer.
That's how the police get you. People are like, "Oh, you can't search my house, you can't do this." They cannot search your house, but once you take your trash out and put it on the street, it is considered public property. Like, you can legit go on people's trash and dig in it. They cannot do nothing about it because you discarded it and it's outside. That's why they always go into the killer's trash cans and then take what they need. Like, they take soda cans or beer bottles or whatever, and they swab it to get a perfect match to gather evidence, and there's nothing you can do about it.
It took a while, but on May 6, 2020, Waterloo police arrested him at his apartment in the Hotel Russell Lamson in Waterloo, Iowa.
Living his best life, too.
The 59-year-old was extradited back to Tennessee on May 15th, where he was later arraigned in Murray County, Tennessee's criminal court. He remains detained at Murray County Jail on a $1 million bond, while currently awaiting sentencing.
Why does he even have a bail, bro? He shouldn't get nothing.
Number 3. Adam Lane.
Oh my God, I look like Super Mario.
Adam Lane was another long-haul truck driver, which he had as his main job, but his side hustle was murder.
Dude.
When he was arrested, they found a DVD of a 2002 horror movie titled Hunting Humans, which was directed by Kevin Kangas. The film basically became some sort of a Bible or guide for Adam on how to live out his wicked fantasies of hunting down and then killing people. For some time in 2007, residents and communities in the Northeast were on high alert, terrified that they might be the next victim of the so-called highway killer. As the name suggests, this perpetrator committed his crimes to people that lived near the highway. In July of 2007, Darlene Ewalt, a resident in West Hanover Township near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, was murdered while chatting on her phone just outside her home. The killer came up from behind, slit her throat, and stabbed her to death while her family sat inside the house. 4 days later, a woman named Patricia Brooks was stabbed while sleeping on her couch in Conewaga Township in rural York County, Pennsylvania. She luckily, though, survived that attack.
Remember when I tell you guys, when a perpetrator uses a knife, it's personal. So either he does not like women, or he was abused by his mom when he was little, or he had some kind of bad past with women, and he has a hatred for women, because you don't use knives like that unless it's personal.
Then on July 29th, Lane walked into an apartment in Bloomsbury, New Jersey, near the Route 78 truck stop after randomly checking unlocked doors. He entered 38-year-old Monica Mazzaro's duplex, where he cut her throat and then stabbed her in the head, neck, and chest, killing her. A day after, Lane made a stop on I-495 in Chelmsford, Massachusetts, and broke into the home of the McDonoughs. Dressed in all-black attire with a mask and gloves, he attacked 15-year-old Shay McDonough with a 15-inch hunting knife.
15-inch?
The teenager let out a scream that woke up her parents. Her father and mother, shocked at what was happening, tackled the burly 245-pound killer.
15 inches, almost
They
bigger
were
than
able
me.
to subdue the perpetrator and managed to take his knife away. Chelmsford police were able to arrive just in time, arresting him, ending his serial killing career. Luckily, Shay also survived that attack.
Lucky.
It didn't take long for authorities to also pin Lane to the 3 previous stabbings. In June of 2010, he was given several life sentences, one for each of the murder and attempted murders that he committed.
That's a big-ass dude, bruh. No serial killer is bigger than Ed Kemper. That's the biggest serial killer I've ever seen. If you guys know of another one, let me know down in the comment section. But this dude was kind of big, bruh, low-key. I'm not even going to sit here and cap like he was pretty swole when he had that picture, bruh. You got to remember, men are genetically stronger than women. Not all women, but majority of women. He probably would have overpowered me. I'm not even going to cap. But I'll try to do some jiu-jitsu or something, bruh. He probably would have pieced me up, too. It would have been a hell of a fight, though.
Number 2, Wayne Ford.
Wayne Ford. He sounds dangerous. Ooh,
In November of 1998, Wayne Ford, a trucker based in Arcata, California,
Cali?
casually walked into the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office in Eureka, California. He approached the front desk carrying a Bible in one hand and, to the horror of the police, a woman's severed breast in the other. He said he was there to tell the truth, and police took him in where they listened to his confession about several murders he had recently committed.
He ripped off a titty and brought it to the police station.
He explained that his wife had filed for divorce and refused to let him see their child. His frustration, anger, and at the same time the depression that had been clinging to him since his discharge from the military had driven him to finally lash out. These poor individuals were all young women that he picked up along his truck routes, most of whom were working as prostitutes. In one of his testimonies, the Army veteran detailed to the court how he killed and disposed of the yet-to-be-identified woman whose torso was found by a kayaker in Humboldt County. He said that he had to cut her head off, cut her breasts off, her arms, and her legs to make her small. He further admitted to the killing of 3 other women. 2 of them were also dismembered, and all were discarded in waterways around California. At the height of the investigation, he led detectives to his trailer next to the Mad River. There, he uncovered the remains of one of his victims stored in a freezer. According to the court records, Ford would pick up these women of the night while driving his big rig. He would offer them money before letting them in his truck, where he would then rape and kill them. He would keep their bodies for several days before disposing of them. Prosecution during the trial brought to the stand a woman from Sonoma County whom Ford raped and attempted to kill in 1998. She described the man's sadistic proclivities, whereby he knotted a tie around her neck and would tighten it to the point of her passing out before reviving her, only to do it over and over again. In one instance, though, she was able to loosen the rope around her neck and ran for her life. Ford stood out among serial killers as one of those few who expressed remorse for their deeds. He was found guilty on all 4 counts of murder in June of 2006. He was sentenced to death in August of that same year and is currently incarcerated at San Quentin State Prison in California, where he awaits the execution.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't like how they do that, bro. They be having all these people on death row. I mean, it's kind of scary, but at the same time, not knowing when you're going to die. But chances are they probably not going to do it. I mean, California is not really used to doing it that often. Now, he was in Texas or somewhere. Oh yeah, it's coming soon, buddy. You getting you getting all of that, bro. But Cali, they baby a lot. They babysit too much for me, bro. I couldn't be in charge of this, bro. I can't say it, but people will be getting consequences, bro, 100%.
Number 1, Robert Rhodes.
Robert Rhodes. Let's get it. Oh, it's not spelled how it is. Ooh.
Robert Rhodes was one of those truck-driving killers who took the meaning of the term cold-blooded killer to the next level. A former Marine, his life took a sudden turn after he got involved in the underground BDSM scene.
Bruh, he's a freak. I'm not mad. I don't know, bruh. BDSM, bruh, I better try it out. I mean, not that I know anything about that.
Quickly, he became addicted to it. However, instead of finding people who were also into it, the trucker opted to do it on those who were rather unwilling to participate.
He's a freak, bro.
In January of 1990, he picked up Patricia Walsh and her husband, Douglas Zykowski, while he was on his route going to Texas.
Got Pornhub Premium or something.
He killed Zykowski and dumped his body in Sutton County. He then kept Walsh for over a week, during which time he tortured and raped her multiple times before dumping her dead body in Millard County, Utah. That same year, he picked up 2 runaway teens from Houston, Texas, Regina Walters and her boyfriend Ricky Jones. Just like before, Jones was also killed and disposed of immediately.
If it's 2-on-1?
Rhodes then kept Walters for a very long time, torturing, raping, and abusing her to his heart's content. Before ending her life, the killer even went on to take a photo of the terrified victim in a barn where her dead body was later found. When he was finally apprehended on April 1st, 1990, police found out that he actually renovated a part of his cab and turned it into a mobile torture chamber just so he could fully live in his dark and twisted fantasies. In Roadside Prey, a book written about Rhodes, it was revealed that the rig was fully equipped with chains, whips, gags, and other contraptions that could be used to inflict insurmountable amounts of pain to his victim.
Bro, this dude went 50 Shades of Semi-Truck, bro, 100%. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, people be watching porn and all these movies, and it messes with the mind. People don't understand how much influence that the porn has on people, bro. That right video hits the right person, bro. That's it. They start trying all these things and they start getting worse and worse, and they start wanting to try it on people, and then they're like, I like that. This is not enough. And they keep getting worse. They keep going one and more and more. And eventually you end up like people like this that start taking people against their will and killing them and doing kind of sexual stuff to them. Please, y'all, carry some kind of pepper spray, some kind of weapon, bro. Something that's legal that you can protect yourself with, man.
Investigators believe that Rhodes may have actually been terrorizing the interstate highways for years, from 1975 all the way to 1990.
I like that.
Aside from Walsh and Walters, police surmise that there could be 50 plus other more women who had fallen prey to the now so-called truck stop killer.
50.
When he was caught, he was with a woman who was shackled inside his mobile torture rig. She was found with whip marks covering her entire back and a leash tied around her neck. He was arrested and charged with aggravated assault, sexual assault, and unlawful imprisonment. Houston detectives were then able to make a connection in the string of kidnapping and murder cases that took place over the course of 5 months in 1990. He was convicted and sentenced in 1994 to life without parole for the murder of Walter, Walsh, and Zykowski. The 74-year-old is currently serving his time at Menard Correctional Center in Chester, Illinois.
That's going to do it for this episode, man. This was crazy, O'Reilly. Good recommendation, man. I mean, you didn't pick the video, but you let me know about the channel. But good pick, man. That's crazy. I have to block out some of that stuff because some of that stuff is definitely not YouTube friendly, and I don't want to get the video taken down. But this video is by Scary Mystery, so if you guys haven't already, be sure you swoop down to the description box, click on that link, go watch the videos in entirety while I be pausing and stopping and talking through the whole thing. Thank you guys so much, man. Support your boy. Hit that notification bell so you can get all my uploads when they drop. Yeah, man. Let me know down in the comment section which killer you thought was the worst. But I mean, all of them was pretty bad, bro. Let me know what you you thought was like the worst one. But him, he was big, bro. He used to choke women out and wake them back up and then choke them out again, bro. That's scary, bro. I mean, how do you even find pleasure in doing something like that? I couldn't even sleep at night. I step on snails, bro, and I just feel bad because I didn't even see them. And they can't move out the way, so it's kind of just like, you know what I'm saying? That's like running over a turtle. Like, oh, dang, man, why didn't you move? And it's just like, you can't. Like, I just feel horrible. Like, damn, I just killed a snail. But yeah, man, if you guys enjoyed the content, man, keep doing what you guys are doing. The videos will keep coming. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Reprisal Zems, and welcome to the Crow's Nest. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.